Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Horror. I am Daniel Shine, joined as always by Todd Loya, Pugstred, and Kruger. We are here tonight to review the brand new Shudder original Random Acts of Violence from writer-director Jay Baruchel. And we'll get right into it. When a comic book creator, Todd Walkley, embarks on a road trip to a convention, people start getting killed. It soon becomes clear that a crazed fan is using Todd's Slasher Man comic as inspiration for the brutal murders. As the bodies pile up and Todd's friends and family become victims themselves, Todd will be forced to take artistic responsibility. All right, so this one I know Jay Baruchel, who also wrote and directed it, something that he'd been trying to get made for a while. I feel like I heard about this one quite a while ago, actually.
I think it's like over a decade.
Yeah, like ridiculously long, because the whole thing in my head, and I was like, oh, wow. It's been talked about for a while. So a long time in the making. So Pugs, I think you're the biggest, comic book guy, I guess, in this group, if that's fair to say.
I'm pretty sure that's a fair assumption.
So I will tag you in first. Maybe a little, Batman's not quite Slasher Man, but, maybe we'll get a versus comic. What did you think of this one?
I've actually never read the original graphic novel, but that is going to change soon because the base material for this story is fucking gnarly. And I think, without reading it, I think it transferred pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
The story is strong enough. They don't really stick the landing, but they have they have one set piece that's super gnarly and one kill scene that's fucking incredible. I'll get to there. Well, we'll get to there after spoilers, but this is definitely worth your time. It looks awesome. It's shot awesome. Way to go, Jay. I look forward to you doing more horror movies and stuff. You got to flex on these people. You got some balls, man. Good job.
What did you think, Kruger?
Overall, there was a lot I liked about it, but there were some things that bothered me and are going to take away from my rating. But to start with things I liked, the use of color in this movie is awesome. Cinematography is great. There was, like Pug said, one pretty phenomenal kill scene in there that was really good. But other than that one kill, I think some of the other kills throughout the movie kind of left some stuff to be desired. But it was a lot of aftermath gore, which is fine. Yeah. And whoever did the gore, is phenomenal. Like, really, really good stuff. Everything looked fantastic. My biggest issue is I hated every fucking character in this movie. I didn't like a single one of them. That cat, especially that Kathy bitch. That girl was fucking pissing me off.
I thought I was going to talk shit about Ricochet. I'm like, he did okay. First time in the movie.
But, and there was, I'll get into it in the spoilers, but I really did not like the ending whatsoever. I thought the ending just was flat and shit. And it really, it really upset me because I actually enjoyed pretty much the rest of the movie. And I was really hoping for it, to stick that landing, like Pug said, and it really didn't.
What about you, Todd? What did you think of Random Acts of Violence?
I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. The ending, yes, I do agree, was weaker than I would have liked it. But it wasn't weak enough where I didn't like what I saw that came before. I have one casting beef that I'll talk about in spoilers because it was not super obvious.
It's what
yeah. But I know Dan won't say it because,
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but I thought it.
So, yeah. But we'll talk about that later. Dan, what about you?
This one's a little bit complicated in a weird sort of way. There were moments where this really came to life. I mean, it was quite intense. Even gave me flashbacks to a film called Found, which we've talked a lot about. in terms of some of the gore and everything. And that's a movie. This is a comic sort of thing. But I hate to say it again. It's another one that kind of made me want to be watching Found. But this one is good. Like I said, there are some moments here. Kruger had pointed out there's a lot of after the fact kills, but it still manages to be pretty twisted. The tarp thing when it, they do a pretty good job of making you feel it, even though it was off screen.
Someone's been watching Hannibal, and that probably made it easy for them to,
Yeah, definitely. Jay Baruchel, always liked him. He was kind of in that group of, comedic actors, and was like the least famous of them all, but he's still working. Considering how long it took for this to get made, it's not quite what I hoped, but it's still a better than solid effort. It really is. I actually thought Jordana Brewster, who plays Kathy, did a pretty decent job. I can see maybe the character not liking her as much.
Oh, I'm not saying she was like a bad actress or anything, but just the character, and like there's a scene where she's like arguing with him, and I was just like, dude, kill this bitch already.
I was on his side. He's right.
Let the man execute his vision. Yeah, there was something missing. I do feel like there's certain stuff that should be a little bit more heartbreaking if you were into some of the people a little bit more. This is another one where there's a lot of spoiler talk, which we'll get into for those of you who've seen the movie. But I dug it. It is most definitely worth a watch. I will say that. But it has its problems. So, but yeah.
One other thing I wanted to say was the animated comic book scenes were fantastic. Like, I would love to just see like a whole movie like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I also wanted to say I enjoyed the actor who played our killer. I thought he did a really good job. I will say though that there were a few moments where he, at the very beginning, where he kind of comes off as a little, I don't know, whiny. Again, I'm dancing around spoilers, but the first scene where the car is stopped and he was doing something that, I don't know, I was like, why is that in there? It just, we'll get into it in the spoilers. For me, there's just several small things and a couple not so small. But again, I do recommend you watch it. We'll rate it, and obviously we got a lot of spoilers to talk about. So
before we go straight to spoilers, is there anyone else who has any comments non-spoilerish?
Yeah, before we do, yeah.
No, let's rate it and get to it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure Dan wasn't jumping the guns. So,
what say you, Kruger? What do you rate this one?
I'm being generous because, like I said, the ending really did turn it, into a negative thing for me. But it's a 3 out of 5 for me. I'll definitely check out more of what this director is doing because everything was great, and I want to find out who did the effects on this movie because, like I said, practical effects are fantastic, and that was definitely my favorite part of it.
Okay, Pugs, what say you?
Anything that can make O.J. Simpson blush, I can't give anything less than a 4. So this movie's a 4. I would love to give it a 4.5 or a 5, but 4 because the ending.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm actually dead on with you, Pugs. I'm a 4. I do wish it was higher too, but there's too many things not to overlook.
Cool. I'm a 3.5, and as they said on the effects front, there's a couple that you do see that are simple but brutal, and again, all practical, which is always nice. This could have been a lot higher, though. We'll get into that. So we're going to be getting into our spoiler section. But before we do that, don't forget patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. You can support us for early, uncensored, and all sorts of content on there. We just added some new stuff. All starts at $1, and it helps us.
Thank you.
And if you're not watching us on YouTube, or if you are, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, because we're new to YouTube, and that really helps us. So go ahead and do that. We appreciate it. And catch us Facebook, Twitter at Flesh Wound Radio. We're on all that good stuff. You know that. All right. So
may I open this?
Yes.
So,
spoiler time, guys.
Wait. Yes. Give them a second to click off. Spoilers.
Cool.
Spoiler
Pick
time.
up.
If you're listening, you're done.
Pick up after you watch. All right. Pugs, go for it.
So I think the reason why we all didn't rate it higher is because they set us up for failure. After that one scene is so early, we're like, oh, we're ready for a fucking ride, and then it just kind of dwindles off, right?
You're talking about the car stabbing
The
scene,
stabbing scene, yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was vicious
Yeah, that
as
was-
fuck.
Yeah, very, very well done. And I think some of the kills should have been like maybe placed differently.
Don't
And
have
yeah,
that like the main event. But yeah, because like honestly,
Yeah.
that's way too big and way too gory to be like the first one. Because then now everything is compared to that, and nothing lived up to it.
yeah. And then when we get the
I think it would have
unveiling-
fit.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think it would have like fit better if that scene actually happened with the assistant or the manager and the girlfriend. Like if they would have switched that out with, instead of having the shooting scene, having that be the stabbing scene, I think I would have rated it higher, because it seemed like everything after that, like you're gonna go from this fantastic, gore like this awesome like slasher scene to then the guy using like a gun and stuff, and that kind of made me go, eh.
Yeah, and he was kind of acting like a little bitch at one point, where he was like debating what to do, and I was like, why is he
himself up? Well, he hadn't killed in a while.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that was the answer, but it came off as awkward. Like, this guy's been there before, he's done this. It just, I don't know. Little thing.
And it was awkward.
Shut up, Todd. But you want to say, Todd? Because I think we all had to notice this, because I was watching the whole time.
Belago?
I think it was
Yeah.
you to say it. Yeah, the casting of the young version of Todd took a minute to realize it was the same character.
Yeah.
Same.
I was going to ask about that. That confused me.
Yeah, they should have at least shaved his hair so it matched, adult Todd. But yeah,
riding a stolen bike. What a bastard.
and then they were doing it together. It really made it. Yeah, they just.
I love the crown. Like, I do think I don't know exactly when this was filmed, but like I think Hereditary had some of their imagery hop over here, because you got that decapitated head and the crown. That made me happy. Yeah.
And if I cared more about that character, I think that would have been done perfect, where you do kind of have that like delayed reaction, but you don't really, you're not connected like you should be for that to really affect you on like an emotional level. For this, they probably should have just shown him just, cut your head off. But yeah, the casting was a little weird. I thought the actor, though, was good. He came off pretty well to me. I love the idea of at the end, like that he drew that picture and that led to that entire cycle. I thought that was super cool. It just like Kruger said, they just don't stick the landing in the way they had hoped, but the elements are there.
The one thing that
Mhm.
the one thing that bothered me was like with the picture scene, like when the killer like kills the mom, like why the fuck would the kid like not react and just draw a picture? I mean, that bothered the shit out of me.
trauma works itself out differently for everybody. But you're right. I'm like, I'm getting my fork. I'm fucking this dude's eye up. Come here, bitch. But I was saying the fizzle out of the ending, it just kind of, well, I just said already, it fizzles. Like nothing is grandiose. Nothing. I don't know. It deserves better than what we got, and that just bummed me out.
Yeah, I agree. It's just this could have been a 5. It really could have for me. Like the elements were there. It's just didn't quite execute. But it's weird though. I do kind of want to watch it again, so it's not all bad. I do. In a way, it might have been an interesting ending too if he didn't kill him. You know what I mean? Like, because he pretty much directly advertised that that's what he wanted. And when he kind of shot him that first time in the gut or the rib, I believe, I was like, that might be interesting if it's just like he wounds him and then it's like, no, you just get to go to jail. It also sets up an easy sequel, but they didn't go that route. So, any closing?
Did you guys like the look of Slasher Man?
Yeah, it was cool.
I liked everything except the jeans. Like, dude, just wear some black slacks.
Get some Dickies on.
Yeah.
The thing with me with the design was that I've seen it done before in other movies though. Like for example, the movie Evidence has a slasher that looks exactly like that. Yeah. So that was one thing that still that's probably why my rating wasn't higher.
I did like his fans though. The prop, that big truck. I'm like, if this movie was fucking gnarly, I would want one.
Right.
Did anybody notice when he had his tools all lined out, the giant double dong that had blood on it? I thought that was.
I saw that.
It looked like your basement.
Shut up, Todd. I did pop for that. I thought that was funny. But yeah, no, guys, check it out. It's on SHUDDER. You're listening to spoilers now, so yeah, that wouldn't be smart. But any closing thoughts?
If you go in with low expectations, you're going to be blown away. If you go in super excited like I did, you're going to be it's fine.
You'd be entertained. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's 80 minutes for a Friday night. Might as well check it out.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for this evening, guys. Be sure to tune in next time and stay safe.
Namaste. Wishy Maxwell.
Good night.
Good night.